All right, everyone, welcome to another episode of the Weekend No Show. And my name is JG, and I have managed to wrest control of the show back, and my authority is total, but that doesn't matter anyway. Mr. CL Smooth, what's up, man?
What's good, fellas? Back in the house.
Hey, Insidious LAT, how you doing?
What's up, people?
Hey, guys, today
I'm going to talk about... Hold on a second. LAT, that's all we get, man? That's it? I mean,
I thought that was pretty cool.
That's all we get.
Man. That was cool. That was low key. I was just like, yeah, what's up, y'all?
I thought you knew who you were messing with, man. You're messing with LAT now. That's all you get.
Okay, I mean, okay, let's go on with the show.
Hey, see, that's just for all you listeners out there. We take what we can get, and we like it, and that's just the way it is. And anyway, so today we're going to talk about something I've been seeing all over YouTube and all over Twitter, and it's called the Passport Bros. So I started seeing these videos, Passport Bros, and the gist is that this is young black men who are not satisfied with the dating situation here with the women, specifically black women, and they're not satisfied. They don't feel they're being treated right. They're being respected or appreciated. And so their solution is to get their passport and go somewhere else where women are not westernized, Americanized. They feel that is a factor that is making American women undesirable to them, that these women are either acting unfeminine, acting masculine, and that they are no longer desirable mates. And to that end, the videos that I watch keep saying, get your passport, go somewhere like the Philippines, go somewhere else overseas where you can, Costa Rica or something, Dominican Republic, find women who are not, I guess, or more feminine. They say they're more feminine and they don't act like women in the States. So the videos I watched, admittedly, I started watching them because some of them were funny, and I started laughing, but I started really looking at what they're saying, and so just my general impression was that I was really impressed that these guys took action. I hate it when someone complains and they don't take action. Well, these guys did take action, and they decided they didn't like what they were seeing or getting, and they decided to do something about it. So in a general sense, I really like that. And I mean, I'll have more to say later, but I want to hear, CL Smooth, what did you think about this?
Man, there's so many different ways, for this topic to go. And I know I've said on an earlier podcast, I think all these different topics we talk about are like different loose threads that tie together that are going to kind of impact the direction that humanity takes, and this gets to the heart of it, which is our relationships with each other, particularly men and women, and having families and children and that sort of thing. And we know that the birth rate is down, the testosterone rate is down, the marriage rate is down, the divorce rate is up. You know what I'm saying?
The testosterone rate is down. I did not heard this first. I've heard.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
I am strong like a bull. What are you talking about?
I was wondering what was going on with my testosterone. Oh shit!
Damn. Sorry, I'm not talking about us. We on full power over here.
Oh man.
They've done tests, and I don't know if it's worldwide or if it's mainly in the West. But testosterone rates are down. So that's probably a whole nother topic to get into. But what I'm saying is all these things tied together, and this relationship between men and women, not just black men and black women, just all men and all women, particularly in the West, is on shaky ground. Fewer marriages, more divorce, fewer children, all those sorts of things. And what's interesting, though, with this particular debate, if I can call it that, you've got young brothers who, as JG said, are not able to find partners in the West. And let me dig into this a little bit more because, a few years ago, I did some research, and some associates of mine and I were looking at potentially looking at business opportunities in the space of dating and for lack of a better word, matchmaking. And so I did quite a bit of research in this area. And what's happening is because because online dating has become and social media dating has become so prominent, that's what most people are doing. And typically, a young man will go, well, I shouldn't say just young man, but a man will go online looking for a partner. And what's happening, and the statistics and the numbers back this up, is that anywhere from 80 to 90% of women that are online looking for partners are only looking at really about the top 10% of men on those platforms. And they define top 10% by, what they look like, right? So they got model looks and athletic bodies and all that, very attractive, all that kind of stuff. And then status, do they have kind of a social presence, high profile job, and then of course the wealth and income that comes with those kind of that kind of status. So 90% of women are looking for those men who like check off the boxes in the top 10% of those categories. And what's happening is that a very few number of men, man, they're dating all the girls. They tapping all of that, right? So many of these women are literally dating the same guy. They don't even know it. And what's happening is these guys are running through these women literally with very little regard for them. And then these women are turning around on social media and complaining about how all men are terrible, right? And that there's that narrative out there, but they are really dating a very small subset of men that are out there. The other 90% of men, they can't get a date, and it's almost becoming and I hate to use this word, an epidemic, in the sense that and I don't have the numbers at hand, but the number of men who are virgins, later into their years, into their late teens, into their 20s even, is skyrocketing, right? It's very difficult for men, what you call average men, decent, good-looking men, good job, good career, good people, good character, to find dates. And so this is what's driving this. Like, okay, if I can't find someone, if I can't be treated the way I want to be treated here in the West, let me go somewhere else and see if I can be treated better. And that's creating a firestorm. So that's kind of my initial thoughts on it.
Sure. I want to go back to something you said where you were saying how it was the top 10% of these guys are the ones getting the dates.
Yeah.
And I mentioned before in the Tinder Swindler episode of how I was trying to match with these women, and it was very difficult for me to match with these women. But now I realize I'm just in that 11% right there. That's where I'm just outside that.
Didn't quite make the cut, baby.
It's like 10.25%. That's where I'm at. And I was like, oh man, if only I just one more percentage point and I'd be in the house. But numbers are numbers. You can't really.
Well, here's the other thing, JG, about that. It's really, for those that are interested, it's really a kind of an interesting psychological analysis or profile, because what's happening is now all of the women are chasing the top tier men, so to speak, quote unquote. We can debate about what top tier. I mean, I would say top tier people are people with great character, and that's what we should be looking for. But in this kind of social media superficial age, it's these other attributes. So most women are chasing this small subset of men. But what's happening is all this other 90% of men are chasing after really any woman that they can find, almost, right? So you would say, and again, people don't send me hate mail. I'm just trying to describe it in a general way so we can have a discussion, right? What you would consider relatively average women, decent looking, whatever, are getting inundated, flooded with emails and texts and messages on all these platforms and different social media sites. They're getting so much attention, like they can't even respond to it all, right? I'm not talking about supermodel women. Their inbox is ridiculous. I'm just talking about normal, everyday women that, I'm not saying they're unattractive, but you're probably not going to stop on the street, to talk with them, right? And no disrespect meant by that. But they're getting so much attention that what's happening now is that their sense of ego, their sense of self in the market of dating and beauty and all that kind of thing is going to a level where they wouldn't give an average guy the time of day, because they've got guys sending them money, buying them gifts for nothing, And so this is just totally distorting the marketplace. and there's a lot of negative effects that we're facing because of that.
Yeah, I think that I was looking in one of the videos, and there was a guy who called himself um, what did he call himself? His name was Austin, but he may be the face of this passport bro
Oh
thing.
yeah,
And
yeah,
he was saying how similar to what you were talking about, these women just get so much attention, they can't possibly respond to all of it. And yeah, they want somebody successful. Who doesn't want somebody who's successful and somebody who has it together? You don't want the person who's, wow, this guy's a mess. Let me go out with this guy. And on some level, okay, I can't front on this, but back to the passport bros. What really struck me is that it really kicked off a negative, as a word you mentioned with firestorm, a firestorm of activity. If you look on the Twitter hashtag, you look on, I don't look on TikTok, but apparently much of this is happening on TikTok, where um, the target of a lot of vitriol is Black women, and they're saying these Black women are acting masculine. They're not good enough for us anymore. We're going overseas, and these women are fighting back. And a lot of the rhetoric I see is that, okay, these guys, they have no game. It's just not. They don't have what it takes to pull a woman, to get a woman. And I think if you look at what they're saying too, they're saying that it's not that they couldn't, find someone. They can't find someone that they want. And um, I just feel like the vitriol ratchets up, and they start going at each other, and pretty soon the feelings of like hatred are there. Like, wow, I'm reading this stuff, and I'm like, man, they hate each other.
yeah.
And it's like, that's not a good place to be in. It's like you're trying to find someone to love, and yet hatred is being born out of this. And it's just, again, like I said earlier, that I was impressed. I'm impressed with one half of it. I'm really impressed that they took action and they're getting a passport. They're going to get what they want. Now that, man, I'm like, yeah, do that. If anyone feels like they're not getting what they want, then you need to go get that shit. You need to go do what you have to do to get what you want. And I saw something earlier, way before I ever heard of Passport Bros. I'm talking like 2017. I saw some articles of Black women going overseas for love. And so one of them was about Black women going to Italy in particular, and them saying how they would get to Italy, and unlike here, like men are honking at them on the streets and trying to get their attention. And then there was a service that was called Black Girl Travel, but then I think it's called Global Nistas now. And this is really organized. This is women who want to go. It's not just for dating, but Black women traveling in groups. And there is a dating aspect where they're trying to, find you somebody, or at least get you into the dating scene in these other countries. So what struck me was that you've got Black women doing this for several years now, or maybe many years. Then you've got the passport bros going overseas. They're looking for someone. They're just going to end up in a different country and turn around. It's going to be the same person they thought they got away from right there in that country. They'll be like, what are you doing here? Oh, shit. But it seemed like the Global Nistas, the Black women's groups were very, very organized, whereas the passport bros are essentially like, hey, get your passport and get out there. And I don't see anything that's really that organized. I think I saw the main guy was he was trying to start a travel group, if I saw that correctly. And I did go to his site. There's really no cohesive organization. It's a hashtag, and the YouTube channel of most of them that I saw was called Bountyville. And I don't really know much about Bountyville himself, but I was really just watching his videos. Now, the other person who I was talking about, I'm trying to find his name now, Digital Bromad is what he calls himself. Digital Bromad, and I believe that's on TikTok, Digital Bromad. And his videos, he is very positive. He's not about dissing women, dissing Black women. He's more about, okay, you guys, you have to move around to get what you want. And he was saying that, no, you can't just show up in another country and then the women like swarm you. And he's like, that's what a lot of people think that's not going to happen. But what you can do is you get to another country and you go on Tinder. And he said, if you make it known that you're American, then you're going to start getting responses. You're going to start getting those matches. And then he said, even more, let's say that you are socially awkward here in America. Maybe that might be a reason you're not getting a lot of dates. You might be awkward and kind of out of practice or whatever. But those sort of, I guess, defects will be forgiven overseas because they'll just lump it into you being American. You're a foreigner. And so in that respect, he was saying that, yes, the opportunity for success is much, much higher if you go overseas. So the whole thing was very, very interesting to me. And I think that, I've been talking about this for a long time here, but LAT, we haven't heard from you yet. Based on what we've been saying, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I've been patiently waiting so I can say how little respect I have for these guys.
Oh man,
these guys are essentially simps. Who,
not again.
Again, they're simps. They're simps in the sense that
what a surprise! Bill don't like these motherfuckers. What a surprise!
They can't be simps, though, right? They can't be simps.
Essentially, what they're doing is this is sexual tourism, right? So they go over to other countries, and because they're Americans and they got a little bit of cash on them, they can get their pick of whoever they want. That shit is not real love, but at least they get native wet or whatever. So that's what's really happening.
I mean, it's not sexual tourism, though, right?
Let's not act like they're going over there and fucking finding love. They're going over there, they're fucking, and and they don't have to deal with sort of these Western and American Western sort of ideals that we're all equal. Those women are subservient. I mean, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm assuming that these are more subservient women. These are more kind of like, hey, whatever you want, daddy, or whatever. And that's what they're going over there for. They're going over there for, they don't want to have to fucking try that hard. And, I get it. If that's what you want, more power to you. You like it, I love it. But also, let's call it 10%, man. It's like, dude, man. Off, man.
Come on,
objection,
man.
Your Honor. Objection, Your Honor.
Come on.
Out of order.
I must protest. We got to get these terms straight, because I just don't think simp can be a blanket term like that. Yeah, I mean, I think a simp is like a guy who goes on OnlyFans and doesn't get anything. You know what I'm saying?
I disagree. I disagree with my esteemed colleague.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, fine. You know what? You're right. I should give Sims more respect than I'm giving him. I love Sims actually deserve a little bit more respect than I'm giving them by lumping them with the Passport Brothers.
Oh no, I have to disagree. Man. Wow. I gotta disagree.
Talk about a fiery statement.
No, man, no. Because the Sims literally get nothing, and I mean nothing. Because they go on to the OnlyFans, and I'm sure there's other sites like OnlyFans, right? They go on these other sites, and they're not even they're giving away money for a picture, and then they're giving away money for ostensibly talking to these girls. But didn't we just talk about how? Didn't we find out that they're not even talking to the girls? They're talking to some dude, some sweaty dude, who's pretending to be the girl. They're not getting anything. At least the Passport Bros. I don't think it's sexual tourism either, because they can go there and end up with nothing. It doesn't mean you're going to, automatically pull some chick. You show up and you try to enter the dating scene. Now, I think sexual tourism is like when they go to Thailand and there's like a brothel or something, right? And then they just pay and pick out a girl, and that's the end of it. But yeah, I'm surprised at the vitriol. The hate, man, for the Passport Bros.
Let me say that I do like the idea of, like, if you're not getting what you're getting, you go and find what you want. But I think what they want is something that doesn't really exist. They want that old school kind of like, oh, whatever you say, sir, kind of, relationship, and you're not gonna find. I mean, you might find it. You might find a rare one here, but you're not gonna find that in America. You're not gonna find that, especially not. I can't speak for all sisters, but sisters like, hey, we're equals. If anything, so you're not gonna find that. I think they just don't want to work that hard. In terms of their relationship with women, and because they don't want to work hard, they go where it's easier. Which I get that. And I'm not gonna
hell
say
no, hell
I'm
no,
not gonna
man.
say any names.
Listen,
I'm not gonna say any names, but let me just finish my point, and then you can jump in. I mean,
no.
see ya. So
no, Smooth, interrupt him, man.
We had friends. We had friends back in the day who loved going to the all ages night at a certain club that was in our city that we went to, and I would never go because I'm just like, you know what? It's not that serious for me. But for them, it was easy. It was easy pickings. It was these people. It was these girls, quite frankly, who because they were a certain type of man, or because they could afford to buy a drink, so they had their choice of these.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
And it's just like, and that feels like the passport bros to me. They're going to where they can have their pick of the litter, and they don't have to try that hard because one, the dudes with actual game and dudes who are cool don't need to fucking fly over to another country. They just step up their game, or or they get a haircut, or whatever they need to do. But these dudes have to go to a whole other country, and I suspect, I don't know this for a fact, but I suspect that a lot of their sort of dates, whether they're Tinder or whatever, are very controlled on their end. So they're constantly, so they will only date when they have complete and total control. And I don't want to diss Simps, but it's real kind of bitch ass nigga behavior. I'm not gonna.
Well, you already called it him. You can't take it back now.
No, because I respect Simps a little bit. So,
man, listen, cut this dude's mic off, man.
I'm about to mute.
Let me tell you something. We all been friends a long time, man. But I'm outraged by your comments, man. I am flabbergasted and outraged. This is unreal. No, I totally disagree. Man. First,
okay.
let's define some terms.
Simp, okay, yeah. Let's get some terms.
Simp is someone who is giving attention and resources to a woman with nothing in return.
Yes, that was my thought. Yeah,
that's a simp. A sexual tourist is someone who goes to an impoverished country for a lower cost of, it's got a lower cost of living, right? And uses his status as an American or foreigner or whatever, and his money to get women for short-term, dating or sex or whatever. So that's a sex tourist. And then if you want to call it a passport, bro, use that kind of blanket term. These are people who are traveling to other countries because they are looking for serious relationships, and they are not finding the type of characteristics in the woman that they'd like to be with in the West, in the United States. I think those are the three different groups. Now, you can have some overlap, right? You can have one person kind of dip in and out of those different kind of umbrella terms, I suppose. But I guess, when we talk about the passport bros, it's someone that's looking for a relationship. Maybe they're not all of them. Maybe they're not in that mode all the time. But my understanding is that's what they're trying to do. And there's certainly a type of person that's doing that. They're going overseas looking for love, like in relationship. Now,
I'd be interested to find out how many of those brothers that go out there and find the one in another country that it actually works out for them.
Check this out. I don't know how many people in your guys' network, are military or somehow connected to the military or whatever. But, we see all the time military members stationed in different parts of the world end up marrying a woman from Japan or the Philippines or wherever.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. So it definitely happens. I think, LAT, you're definitely raising a valid point, because there is a subset of men that are just going out there looking to exploit women. But the reason I have my reaction to it is more because, much of what you said is a talking point I'm hearing from Western women that are angry at these guys for leaving, right? And they're trying to belittle them and shame them and stuff like that, and basically calling them sex tourists and things like that. And I have an issue with that because if we go back to the stats I cited earlier, 90% of women are going after 10% of men. These women are telling these men, we don't want you. You don't have the characteristics we're looking for, right? You're not it. We got our own thing. And so these men are saying, okay, well, I'm not wanted here. Is there someplace I can go where I am wanted? Right. Now we can debate about the characteristics of women. I mean, you use the term subservient, and I know people within like this passport bros movement and other kind of online red pill talk, whatever manosphere talk, use that term of submissiveness. It's not really. It's a hypercharged term. I don't really like the term because I don't think it conveys what people are actually about. But I think it's a different type of woman that they're looking for. Some would call it more traditional. Modern women who are critical of these guys would say they're looking for just, basically slaves to serve them hand and foot. And I think these brothers would say, hey, no. I'm looking for a partner. We are equal, but we'd have different roles in the relationship, right? And we work together to try to make this relationship work. And it's easier for me to work with a woman from a different country who has a cultural background that is more cooperative with the men in their lives than they are in the West. So I think that's the argument for these. Well, go ahead, man. Go ahead. I know you're trying to get me.
No. I just like, cooperative. It's all the same. But
I mean, look. We all know sisters, right? And we've dated sisters, right?
Yes.
And, they're about to get currently. Look, they can be difficult to deal with, man. And you say step your game up and accept the challenge.
That's not just sisters, And I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you finish, but then I have a perfect analogy.
Yeah. That's a true point. Let me clarify that. It's not just sisters, but I think the Western culture of women in the dating market today is very much like, look, I'm an independent woman. I've got everything I need. I don't need you for this, and that. We're equals, But we're equal until the bill comes for dinner. You know what I'm saying? We're equal until so that comes up. Now again, not all people, not all women. We all know that, man. We're adults and we're having a discussion. We need to be able to have these discussions, and quite frankly, we need to be able to hurt each other's feelings and come back together and be cool. So we can move forward.
Oh, don't you hurt my feelings, man.
Hey, man. Hey, chatbot. Let me turn down them settings. But this is what's driving it, man. And they're trying to shame these brothers for going somewhere else. Like you not serving me at your restaurant, I'm gonna go somewhere else and eat. Figuratively speaking.
Yeah. And I'm absolutely a fan of them in that sense. It's like if they're truly not, they've literally done all that they can do, or maybe as much as they're willing to do. I get it, but I also get that for every. I mean, I'm pulling these numbers out my ass, but for every 3 brothers that's out there genuinely looking for love, there's 7 of them that just don't want to work that hard.
But why should they?
They heard it's easy.
What's working hard?
Why do these relationships have to be so hard? And people, they don't want to work. I don't want to work either. Why? And people, you have to put work into these relationships. How much work should you have to put into it? You already work to survive. These relationships are supposed to be something you can build up, but I don't have a problem. Like if anyone, man or woman, feels like they're just working too hard in a relationship, then bounce. You don't have to be with anyone you don't want to be with.
I mean, but why go all the way across the country? I mean, if you just want easy pussy and easy, get yourself an AI girlfriend and order a hooker every once in a while when you actually want to feel human contact. It's like,
but that's the thing, though.
That's not what they're looking for.
These guys are looking for a relationship. They're looking for the one. They're looking for someone to settle down with, and they're not finding those qualities that they like here. So they do have to go to other countries where they're not They specifically say they're not Westernized. They're not Americanized. That's what they want, and that's what they went to get.
So, all right, and now, thank you. You set me up perfectly for what I wanted to say. So we all remember the old Eddie Murphy bit about going
no.
getting a wife. No. It happens. So they go to other countries, and then and then they bring them over here, and then lo and behold, all of a sudden they're like, you know what, these Western ideas ain't so bad, and then they get half.
But that actually,
I wish I could remember the actual bit, so I could say the funny part. But I want half or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that sets me up for the videos that I was sending you guys. In that one, the woman specifically says that. She says, "You passport bros, you don't get it. You're going to bring these girls back here. They're going to get them. We're going to get a hold of them. They're going to get Americanized, and we're going to tell them the deal." And Bountyville is saying, "No, you don't get it. We're not coming back.
Right.
We're staying there where we live like kings."
These brothers are expats. They're just leaving the country. They're just leaving.
So over there, they are six-figure N-words, and they have status. They have the traits and the they tick the boxes over there. So man,
did you just say the N-word on national television?
Let's rewind the tape.
Yes, that's racist, man.
Listen, John does not. You know what? John says mofo. John says N-word. Let's accept him for who he is before he leaves the country and gets two other new friends.
Right, before he gets his passport.
Hey, I dropped the F-bomb in the previous episodes, so I'm cool.
Hey, listen, I don't want people to get the wrong impression, man. Like, we don't have no respect. I just curse so I mean that shit. That's all.
See what you made me do.
Hey, listen, there's one thing I wanted to say to the audience that, damn, I never thought this moment would come. We three brothers from, man, we've known each other a long time. We've been through a lot of war stories, and we had kind of an unofficial, understanding that, we single for life and we out here doing our damn thing. But as I go further in this conversation, I've got a real sneaking suspicion.
Oh no!
And it's like when you see a scary movie, you get that chill at the back of your neck. I don't want to say it, but I think that one of these brothers on this podcast is in a relationship because he is stunting hard for women in the West, man. And his name is LAT. Damn. Say it ain't so, man.
You got a replica girlfriend, man?
You saw this?
Yeah, she's AI. She's AI. I know. Yeah. I've sent you guys the AI image.
Yeah.
But no, regardless of my status, I just.
Oh, see, don't backpedal now.
I just think that I don't know, just the idea of but I also get the idea of being an expat, and I've considered it, but not because women weren't treating me nice. I just considered just because it's financial. I'm like, you know what, my 50 grand here would be a shit ton of money someplace else. I've considered that, but I'm not leaving the country because because I'm lonely.
But you know what, Bill? Check this out, man. The thing is, we come from a different time, right? We come from a time where if you liked a girl, you went up and talked to her in person. You hollered at her in person, right? So I don't want the audience to think I'm totally dismissing your comments because when you talk about having game and being able to represent yourself and all that kind of, 100% agree. But that's the time we grew up in. The time now, the cats who are deep in the dating market now, this stuff is all online. It almost has to be online, right? Nothing else is happening. And they're not even getting up to plate. They're not getting a chance to swing the bat. You know what I mean? And so they're facing something different than we faced. And so, if this was when we were coming up, I might more be in line with what you're thinking. But I think today it's like, if you don't have all the boxes checked online, and even if you do sometimes, you're not even getting up to the plate, man.
Yeah, you have to be so extraordinary to cut through the noise.
I don't know. Maybe it's a cultural. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it's a generational thing. But listen, man, we know I'm short. I'm not what you would call classically handsome. But you know what? I've never been in want of companionship.
That's because we come from a different time, man. We learned the game through trial and error.
Right.
So we've tested ourselves, and you win some, you lose some. But this is a different time. Most of these guys have never talked to, stopped a woman they didn't know and did it in a smooth way so it wasn't, creepy or whatever, and had a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Most of them haven't done that. And so, yeah, right. I think this is the end result.
All right, well, once again, you guys have convinced me to give them a little grace, but like I said, I just feel like when you go through that much trouble, maybe the problem's you.
Well, I mean, I think I'll say that the part I don't like about Passport Bros was that, I mean, the vitriol toward the Black women, it does ratchet up, and that's the part where I'm like, go do you, and I guess you have to say what you don't like maybe, but it doesn't have to be said kind of like that. You could just say, I'm looking for something else than what's offered here. And so I'm going out, but you don't have to completely diss them that hard. But what I noticed is that this is a lot of that red pill stuff. And I remember when I first started hearing that term, red pill. I'm like, what is this? And I started looking it up, and I'm very shocked because the red pill stuff doesn't seem to include Black men. And that is what kind of shocked me, that it's like, oh, red pill thinking. Because when I looked on that stuff, I'm like, what is red pill? And I look on there, and it seemed like this was a lot of white men, and they were a lot of the things that were said. They were certainly dissing Black Lives Matter and saying all these things, and I was like, oh, I guess Black men aren't welcome here. That's why it kind of shocked me to see the red pill philosophy there. And I just don't think that, I don't want to be a part of that anyway, but I don't think that Black men are welcome in that. It's very shocking.
I think something we should look more into, because I don't offhand don't know the answer to that question. I'm familiar with some of the talking points and stuff like that, but I don't know it well enough to determine if there's kind of an exclusion of brothers or not. But again, another episode where I want to point out, last episode we talked about Scott Adams controversy and the division between Black people and white people in this country. Now we're looking at the division between Black men and Black women, Western men and Western women. Where are all these divisions coming from? You know what I'm saying? The gulf is getting wider between these groups. Why is that happening? I don't think these are natural occurrences, man. Something don't feel right to me.
Okay, here we go again.
I'm not gonna go on one of my rants. I mean, y'all already, you already know I'm right, so I'm not gonna have to beat a dead horse. You know what I'm saying? So
I want him to call out the man, my brain's not working. This is the House of Owls.
The Illuminati.
Well, I was thinking specific guy.
You know who it is? It's I was going to bring up the last time, but it's the Bilderberg Group. That's who's responsible for all this. Bilderberg Group. No, man. They meet every year in the Bilderberg, where Netherlands or Germany. I think there's 2 locations, and they decide, hey, we're gonna start this Passport Bros. We're gonna break up.
No, come on, listen, man. Women. See y'all being part of the problem right now, man. When you dismiss my conspiracy theories, man, when you make the items,
we're simply saying that, you know what? There's been a precedent set. You're not the first person who's mentioned this.
Look. That's all I'm saying. I'm getting my passport, man. I'm about to bounce.
I already got my passport.
You're the original passport, bro. I don't know why you hate passport, bro. We know you've been overseas, Vel.
Yeah, man.
Vel went international without even leaving the country. We know your history, man.
Yeah, I remember that, man. I don't know how I forgot.
Shoot. Vel over here acting like he never. Let me stop. This is a family show. Let me stop.
Okay. Well, let me ask you guys this. Let me just ask. Let's put this question out here. So, I mean, you do go on a trip, on a vacation or whatever. You meet somebody, and you hit it off. And so, are you a passport bro now? I mean, is it intention? Is that what counts?
I think it is intentional. I think when you go out there with the express purpose of finding a bride, I mean that's hilarious, and in Coming to America, but in real life, that's some I don't know, that's some shit. I don't know how to describe it other than that. But when you go someplace with the intention, like you know what, I mean, it makes about as much sense as Akeem going to Queens to find his queen. That makes about as much sense as these brothers going to, I don't know, Germany, not Germany, because maybe Germany. There's some Air Force bases out there, but going out to some random European place to find their queen. It's just like it's all random. You might as well just go to Atlanta.
Well, it seemed to me like they were going to South America more.
Of course. Yeah. The more impoverished, the better. I get it. And being a dick.
You definitely are. I partially agree with that because I can't imagine. Well, let me not say it that way. Getting married and all that kind of stuff has never been a priority for me, and it's not going to be. So I cannot relate to like I'm gonna leave the country or I'm gonna move across the country or anything for that as my aim. If it happened, then cool. But think of it this way: it depends what you want, right? Now, there are some guys that want to marry a woman who is, they're a career professional. They want a woman who's a career professional. They could be a power couple, but both making money. They have 2.5 kids. They put them in private school. You know what I'm saying? They got the plan, and that's what they're looking for. He don't cook, the wife don't cook. They got a different lifestyle, and they both good with that. Then there's other guys who are like, you know what, I want to raise some kids, and I think the best way to raise children is somebody needs to be in the home, right? So I've got a really good job. I'm in a good position. So I'd like to meet a woman that embraces motherhood and being a wife and the importance and value that have. There's nothing demeaning about it. And so I want someone who really loves that and enjoys that. I'm not trying to control her. It's just that we have different roles, and that's what I'm looking for, right? And I think too many people are like dissing people, whether it's a man or a woman, who embrace those kind of roles. They call them traditional or whatever, but that's what they want. Versus those who are more modern, who are like, nah, we want to be a power couple, both making bread. Both are legitimate lifestyles. It's just what do you want? And I think that's the brothers who are going overseas and that are looking for women who fit that second model, which is these are women that want to be wives, want to be mothers, see real value in that. Don't see a lot of value in going working in a cubicle, 40 hours a week. You know what I'm saying? They want to raise the kids, and they love that. I don't think we should diss them for that.
Well, yeah, I definitely agree, because it's similar to what you were saying. It's like I can never be a passport bro like that, because no, I'm not looking to get married. I'm not looking to settle down with somebody. The goal is different, right? And so, but I applaud them for going after what they want. And some of the videos, there was some. Again, I don't really do the TikTok. Most of the stuff I was seeing were on Twitter or reposted on the Bountyville YouTube channel. And it was from some of the women from the Philippines saying, hey, you come down here, we'll treat you like a king. And, the American women, they're not feminine enough for you. We're feminine. And, we understand that you're a man, you need to be treated like a man. And it's like, they're trying to get what they can get. But these relationships, they're always transactional. No matter what, everybody's always leveraging what they can get. Can I get sex from this person? Can I get financial assistance from this person? Is this person going to give me security, protection? Or is this girl going to look good on my arm? She's going to give me someone to hold down my household. There's all those factors that people have been looking for forever. And I think the passport bros are just really putting this stuff in a line by line bullet point. This is what we want, and this is what we're going to get, and it's very upsetting to a lot of people.
Yeah, if I could give some advice to young women, is if you're looking for relationships and marriage and that sort of thing, find a man with character, with integrity, right? If he has those things, then some level of success is going to come to him. Maybe he's not going to be a multimillionaire or even six-figure or whatever, but a man with character and integrity is going to work hard. He's going to protect you and provide. He's going to respect you, and he's going to support your interests and your dreams and your desires. But too many of us, whether it's men just looking for women that look a certain way, right, physical beauty, or women that are just looking for men who have all these assets and whatnot. These things are, I'm not saying they're not important, but they're superficial in the sense of what's going to create a strong, successful relationship. You got to have those underlying character values, and the sooner that everybody gets in line with that, I think the happier everyone's going to be. But right now, people are chasing the superficial, and you see what's happening to our society, man. We're arguing over nonsense. Who cares if the passport bros going overseas? Let them do their thing. You don't want them anyway, right? Or who cares that women want a certain type of guy? Go, okay, you do your thing. I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be. I don't know. I just don't think they make them like they used to, man. Or men or women.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of upheaval right now, and I think it may be a couple of years, but it's going to settle down into something. I don't know what, but I just feel like right now things are volatile. Everything is really in flux, and we haven't seen how it's going to shake out yet. But whatever the case is, I bet it's going to be something that we don't expect. And I think these passport bros, this is, I guess I won't say a symptom, but it's like the forward-facing bit of a situation, maybe a problem, but a situation that is now coming to light. So, I think that we can probably, I think we kind of said a lot on this one. We can probably wrap it up, but with the understanding that LAT was probably wrong.
Yes.
Me and Smooth,
yes.
pretty much right.
Agreed.
I think
100%. Excellent point. Yeah. Excellent point. Yeah.
Yeah. So to all you simps out there, we apologize for, we kind of mixing up the terms. We don't want to do that. But I think we're going to get out of here and wrap up this weekend no show before we get in even more trouble. I see trouble coming on this one. But anyway, please like and share and subscribe if you like this show. We really appreciate it. Comment, let us know what you're thinking. And we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Smooth and LAT. Let's say goodbye, guys.
Peace out, fellas.